Hey guys, it's your boy Zach back with today's video. Now, the Australian Grand Prix just finished for me. It was so early over here in Europe. So long race, so much happened, so many DNFs, so much crashes, so much drama. Like, talk about a race that started exciting, had a long, drawn-out, boring part in the middle, and then just exploded into chaos and mayhem. We're gonna break through where we ended up and talk about every racer's position and how they did through the whole race. So let's begin at the bottom. Actually, you know what? The bottom's where all the mess is. So you know what? We're going to start at the top. First place, I guess Verstappen, and boom. Got that one right. Surprise, surprise. He had a good qualifying. No problems there. Obviously, I was going to get that one right. When the car works, the only thing that can usually stop him is either himself or Paris. And if not that, not even Paris, to be honest. Only if he just has a bad qualifying and the car doesn't work itself so far, it seems like. It's just going to win this season. Like, there's nothing to do about that. The big surprise of the whole season was, today was Mercedes. Surprising in qualifying and doing amazing. So I guess second, Perez. We all saw how he did in qualifying. Finished last, started from last position in the pits actually. And then made his way up to fifth. But yeah, you know, I like to do these predictions before qualifying because doing them after makes it kind of more easy to see where people are ending up, and that's what, you know, what's fun. I've guessed Verstappen first almost every single race, and that's because he is more or less likely. But if let's say I did the qualifying attempt last race in Abu Dhabi in Saudi Arabia after qualifying, then I would have clearly guessed it way more easier. But yeah, got that one wrong on Paris. No points there for me. Following up, third place, Alonso. Again, he's just the third place merchant. Thank God he got to restart his race after the third red flag, and you know he fully deserves that, because I think after discussing about it, I kind of agree with that this was the wrong thing to do. So yeah, I think that was right. Moving on, so that's 3 points. Moving on, fourth, I guess Stroll. He got that again. You know, it wasn't his best race. He's kind of showing that he's not in the fight for, you know, Alonso's in a league of his own. And it kind of shows how Stroll he doesn't have the caliber to be a world champion, in my opinion. He doesn't have what it takes. Neither in qualifying and not in the race either. And it's because of the car that he's achieving the things they are. And, you know, it might be his arms, it might be struggling with stuff, but in my opinion, he doesn't have what is necessary to win this. Moving on. Fifth place, I guessed Russell, and I probably would have been right about that if it wasn't. It could have been higher even if it wasn't for he having power unit problems. So you know, that's what I said in the prediction as well. You can't really predict DNFs that much. You know, they just happen, and God knows it's going to be a difficult one to get a lot of points this one, because we had what, 7, 8 DNFs. So yeah, no points there for me. Sixth place, I guess Hamilton. Hey, look at my guy, got up on second freaking place. Like, mad respect to him. But yeah, good race from him. He worked hard. I know people are talking about the tires of Verstappen, and you know, I heard different things. We'll just have to wait and see. But he's on the line. He looks to be safe, and people are saying it's not a problem. So we'll just have to wait and see. Then up next, I guessed for 7th spot, I guess Leclerc, and there again, he DNF'd in the first turn. Big mistake from him. He's just it's been a rough time for him this past 1.5 years, and the fall from grace he's having it's painful. It's kind of looking at like him and Norris are giving me the same vibe. It's just pain all through them. So yeah, sorry for that guy. But yeah, then we move on. 8th, I guessed Sainz, and you know, I probably wouldn't have gotten points anyway, but he got his penalty, and you know, not much to pick up there anyway. Then on to 9th, Gasly, and I probably would have been right about that one, and actually I wouldn't have been, because it would have been higher. But you know, they took each other out, the Alpines. This is the drama we're seeing, and it's just a result of having the standing start. And I personally before was a big fan of the standing starts, but today just felt like a really sour end to a race who just didn't need this. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this at all. I'm not gonna lie. Moving on. After that, I guess 10th, Ocon the same there. Probably would have been close with that one as well, but you know, it is what it is. No points to pick up there. Then 11th, I guess Bottas, and you know, I could have been right, but probably most of these that are correct down here is because of all the DNFs. But I'll take whatever I can get. 3 points for me, I'm taking that. And not much to say about, you know, the Alfa Romeo. It's not a good car. It's not looking good. Show did better, though. He got 9th, but most of this we can't really, you know, it's not much to talk about. Then after that, I guess 12th, I guess Tsunoda. And, you know, I get a point there because he's in 10th, so, you know, that's fair. He's done 11, 11, and then 10th now, so fair enough to him, and I'm gonna put some respect on his name. But you know, if you look at it with without the DNFs and the crashes, you know, he would have been way further down. Then the Haas's, they are surprising me. You know, Hulkenberg and Magnussen, one of them has either caught up points both races now, no, all 3 races now. So fair enough to them, and I'm looking forward to see more because right now they have a good chance of beating these other bottom teams. So fair enough to them. I like it. I like to see it. It's good to see. Then after that, Magnussen, you know, he started this whole problem with he made a driver error, and you know that's what you gotta think about here. He messed up that turn and lost his tire and started this whole madness that ended with a massive collision and effectively messed up so many points in the whole race bracket itself. But yeah, he's gonna have to get better if he wants to keep his seat, because this is we're seeing that Hulkenberg is not scared to show his strength. But it's fun to see the Haas. You know, it's up there. It's on the edge of catching points every single weekend, and I think they've gotten into Q3. Had one car almost every single weekend now, and I like it. It's good to see. Then 15th, I guess the reason, you know, this is what I want to say this before we move on, because you know these are all DNFs, and that kind of makes it more difficult. So I'm just going to go by the order they're given here. And then these ones aren't as important when it comes to scoring, because they didn't finish enough of the race to be qualified as a race. But when it comes to, you know, it was how many you have? We have 8 DNFs here. It's going to make it more difficult to score points. So from the first 17, I will give them points. And then from the rest, I won't. So then we go on to 15th, and I got De Vries right there. He did DNF with Sargent, I think, in the restart. They had a collision. So, you know, it's 3 points, but it's, you know, he would have been around that spot anyway, so I'm not too shabby about that. I said 16th would be Joe. That was not right. He had a good race. I was actually looking at his qualifying sessions and his scoring recently, but you know, this is what we see with the Alfa Romeo. It's kind of difficult to see because the last race they had a terrible race, and then suddenly now they have a much better race. So you know, it's dependent on the day, but fair play to him. He got points for his team. Then the big surprise of the whole thing: both McLaren cars got points. We got Norris. He finished 6th. And Piastri finished 8th. So, you know, that's important for them and big for them. And I think they're actually happy about that, to see them actually scoring points, even though it's more or less because of their cars, the 8 DNFs they had. And, you know, it doesn't really show if they've made any improvements. So we'll just have to really just wait and see. Then, in 17th, I guess Albon. And, you know, he did DNF earlier. So, that's not good for him, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. Then I guess Piastri, again, he had a good race, and Sargent as well. He came 16th with the DNF, and I guess him in last. You know, so it's difficult to say. These cars are all in the back, you know, except the McLarens. But you know, you can't predict Leclerc going out and Albon and Russell, and then having the whole restart with both Alpines. So my both Alpine guesses were I was gonna get points on, and Science as well, you know. So that's the name of the game, and these things happen. And the only sad part about this whole thing is that we gotta wait so freaking long until the next race. So you know, this that's the worst part. But if we then go over and see, I did a total of 11 points. I don't have it here. I'm gonna get it up until the next time. I got 22, and now I'm 16. So a little bit of a downfall, but I was actually thinking I was gonna get a lot less than 11 points. No, 16 points here. I thought this was going to be my lowest because of all the DNFs. But luckily, I got a few more points than I thought. And it just goes to show that having the 3-pointers around really makes it easier. Because you only had 1 3-pointer in the first race. So, you know, that says a lot about the quality of this. But yeah, enjoyed that. As a race in a whole, it was a slow race, but the ending made it really exciting. But you know, this is the drama we're talking about. Is this getting too much of a social media and drama type of storyline like WWE, or should we really focus on it as like a sport? Personally, I think they made the wrong decision today. But there's so many things to think about when it comes to this thing. So you know, it's hard to say where all things will end up. So we never know. But hey, that's gonna be me for today, guys. Thanks for watching the video. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Hope you enjoy your Easter break, and peace.